Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Schmoes Show. I am the infamous Orion, and last I checked, I'm a schmo.
No, hold on.
Yeah? Is the medical diagnosis coming in?
Yes, I am in fact Cairo, and I am still a schmo as well.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
I
Oof.
was worried there for a sec. That was close.
Yeah, could you imagine that? Fuck.
hmm
I can't even afford healthcare. Well,
Welcome to America.
yeah, it's almost like we need to watch out for COVID because fucking healthcare system will rob you blind and then you'll be fucked. But hey, at least
Yeah.
you didn't die.
Yep. Yet.
Yeah, that's one argument I've never understood. People saying, "Well, everybody's going to get it," and it's like, "Well, shit, I don't want to go to the hospital when they're literally renting space out at the maximum amount because they can't afford to have all these people in there."
Right?
Fuck, man, think.
Especially in our state right now, our daily new COVID cases is on par with where we were back in fucking April.
Are you serious?
What the? Yeah, it's fucked up.
I don't
What
care
up, again?
anymore.
I mean, everyone's super burned out on it. Oh no, I think we've gone past that point now. Yup, we
Oh,
have. So our peak cases, daily cases, was on. So I can follow this gross bar graph. Like early April, like the first week of April, we almost hit 2,000 new cases in a single day. It was
nice.
about like 1950, and now we've crossed that.
This is what we get for having Detroit.
It's nothing to do with Detroit. It's the dumbasses in the Supreme Court.
I know, but I'm just making fun of Detroit.
It's really frustrating. Like we almost had it in like June, end of March going into June. We were so fucking close. And then everyone got complacent and things opened back up. And then cases started to go back up with it.
Yeah. Like, again, it's not about the whole fucking health part of it I'm worried about anymore because I just, you know, it's more about the economic shit at this point that scares me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are going to go fucking bankrupt soon, and people are already out of jobs, so how the fuck are
Oh
you
yeah.
going to be, laid off, no health care whatsoever, getting COVID, and expect to pay off those bills?
And the Senate can't even pass the stimulus package that's been sitting on their desks for months.
No, they
Because they
cannot.
gotta get the Supreme Court justice in, it's way more urgent than literally millions of Americans hoping to pay their rent on time.
Yeah, like, holy shit, people think.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know, man. My mother works in health insurance right now, and she tells me that they got like virtually nothing going on because either people have like dropped their health insurance because they don't work somewhere anymore, or it's I don't know, it's a mess.
Oh yeah.
But she tells me like the health insurance business is so dead right now because of like a lack of people having claims.
Yeah. Well, and I would assume pretty much all of it is COVID.
Yeah,
If you don't have COVID, if you have anything else, you're not going to want to go into the doctor's office because you don't want to risk getting it yourself.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. What a nightmare we live in.
Yep.
But
There
hey,
we go.
speaking of nightmares, we forgot about something last week.
I'm pretty sure I suppressed it.
You suppressed it.
Yeah.
We had a new movie for the first time in like forever.
Yeah. If only those movie theaters could have just waited a little bit longer, it would have just pulled them back from the brink.
Oh my gosh. So, this movie that had the challenge, the honor of opening up a long stint of business after months of silence in Michigan. Like this movie literally came out for our theaters to come up. The War with Grandpa.
Yeah.
And if it sounds cringy, that's because it is.
And it's got like real actors too. That's the thing with this kind of stuff that always gets me. Like, these people aren't nobodies. Like, what the hell?
Peter and his grandpa used to be very close, but when Grandpa Jack moves in with the family, Peter is forced to give up his prized possession, his bedroom. Peter will stop at nothing to get his room back, scheming with friends to devise a series of pranks to drive him out. However, Grandpa doesn't give up easily, and it turns out all-out war is coming between the two. Who's in
I
this
can't help.
movie?
Uh, Robert De Niro stars as the grandfather. Yeah. That's how you know it's good.
Oh,
Uma Thurman is also involved. I don't know what role. And Christopher Walken is credited.
ow!
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. So, how? I want to know how they got in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm really curious what their budget for this was. It's like,
would you like
are
to
they
hear the story behind it?
not really, but hit me. Go for it.
So, credit where credit is due. My girlfriend told me about the story of this movie, and it's rather interesting. You see, this movie started production in 2018, where it was, 2017, and was set to be released in 2018. But then it was pushed back from February to April to October to change up the film. And then the Weinstein Company, who was distributing the film, dropped it.
That's how you know it's good.
Yep. And until June of this year, 101 Studios acquired the distribution rights to the film and decided, let's put it into September. And then realized, let's push it back to October. So this movie has spent 2 years in fucking hell waiting to crawl out and gouge itself on the lack of competition.
I also missed this, but it also stars Cheech.
Cheech Marin?
Uh-huh. Yup.
Fuck.
Yup. So you get Cheech Marin, Christopher Walken, and Robert De Niro in a PG movie.
Uma Thurman as well.
That is, yeah, Uma Thurman in a PG movie, because that's what everyone asked for.
Yes. So, shall we read some of the reviews for this stinker? Because it's quite fucking ridiculous what the plot is based off this, these surface level reviews.
Sure.
Do you have any on you? Because this, I'm going to take a second.
Let's do critics first. Top critic reviews. Let's see here. It's the kind of film that seems to vanish from the mind even as you're watching it. Who knew a dodgeball game between Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Cheech Marin, Jane Seymour, and a bunch of rowdy kids? Oh my goodness! And a bunch of rowdy kids could be so bland. Robert De Niro has made his share of nearly unwatchable comedies, so although it's tempting to say The War with Grandpa is the worst, I can't say that definitively. The fact that The War with Grandpa finally dragged itself off from the shelf is something of a win, but now that we're able to see it, the real loser is us.
To put simply, there's a reason The War with Grandpa sat on the shelf for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. I don't get why I guess you probably couldn't do it in 2020, but like, why don't more companies try to like food fight this kind of stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just put it on the shelf
Like,
and wait forever.
Corporate espionage. We can't release the movie now. Everything's gone. Don't pay attention to the fact that it's a steaming pile of shit. We lost the movie.
Another
If our
entry.
insurance companies could just give us our money back, that'd be great. We'll be on our way.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing. Another entry in the Robert De Niro feuding with his grandson extended universe. There's like this one really good one I'm trying to find. It was basically the movies in the yeah. It depends on your tolerance for watching Robert De Niro flash people.
Yep. I think I heard that one somewhere.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. What was the budget of this thing? Did you find that or?
Yeah, you want to take a guess? So it made so far it has made 10.8 million in the box office. It's been out for 2 weeks now.
Yes.
2 weeks now. You want to take a guess
Um.
at what its budget was?
I'm gonna guess 62 million.
No, thankfully they weren't that stupid.
Okay.
It's still 24 though.
Yeah. I I guaranteed half of that went to Robert De Niro.
Um, probably not. I feel like of the actors. Oh wait, what is this? So this is a piece on Wikipedia about its release. Over the Cramp was initially scheduled for release on February 23rd. It was then rescheduled for April 21st, which is put back to October 20th due to a location change. In March, it was announced that the Weinstein Company would no longer distribute the film, and its rights were reclaimed by the producers for 2.5 million. Why the hell would you do that? June 2020, 101 Studios acquired distribution rights to the film and set it for a September 18th, 2020 release, which was then pushed back again to October 9th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if De Niro was paid more than 5 million for this. This seems like the kind of thing that he could probably phone in really easily.
Yeah. What a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great example of why beggars can't be choosers. You want movies to come back, you get War with Grandpa.
So who directed this?
That implies it
Wow.
had any thought put into it.
This guy's done nothing. Oh my god. Are you ready for the director's I don't even want to say filmography because it's so scarce.
Oh God! I see it.
This is disgusting. So his debut, 1997, is Action League Now, Rock a Big Baby, which is apparently something so obscure that Wikipedia can't even give you a link to what the hell it is. See if Google's any better. I'm how cringeworthy, how terrible do you think this is going to be?
9%.
This has to be terrible.
So the weird. Okay, who is the director on
Oh
your
no,
side?
sorry. This is an episode of a TV show
Oh shit.
that's just credited wrong, apparently.
Who is the director on your side? Because I think I'm getting a different director on Rotten Tomatoes.
Tim Hill.
Yeah, Tim Hill. Same.
Yep. Most recently, he was also the writer and director for the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run,
Yes.
which. How did that one do?
I'm seeing a 76% on the audience score.
That's not bad.
But he also did Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever.
Oh, here you go. So Sponge on the Run finished first at the box offices in Canada and had the highest weekend total for a film since the start of the pandemic. Because that says a lot.
Yay.
Although, while it. Oh, wait, no. How does this make sense? So I'm just going to read through this because this doesn't make sense. Reception. In the film's debut, no, that's not one. IndieWire estimated that the film had a traditional North American theatrical. Oh, if it had the film had a traditional theatrical release, it would have opened to $25 to $30 million, including a $3 million total from Canada. It didn't do that though. Instead, it only got 4.7 million
Rough.
out of a budget of 60.
Hot damn.
That's a lot of money for a SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, well, do you know what they're doing with the SpongeBob movie?
No.
They're using it
Oh
as
wait, no.
what?
Shit. This guy. Okay, he has one a handful of things that might justify this director's existence.
Okay,
And
but
that is that he was the writer, storyboard artist, and story editor for the original SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
okay,
So I mean that justifies his career very slightly.
yeah, but I'm also seeing like the rest of his movies. They're not great.
Yeah, the rest is pretty bad. He was the director for Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties. Oh my god, that was a terrible movie. And
Alvin and the
director
Chipmunks.
for Alvin and the fucking Chipmunks,
Yes,
which was very successful, but terrible movie.
he was also the director for Hop.
I don't know this, which is what is Hop?
That's the
Oh
Russell
yeah, I
Brand.
think I probably saw an ad for that at some point.
I've seen it.
How bad is it?
It's fucking terrible. Um,
Made back its box office, so.
yeah, it's one of those Illumination movies, though. It's so cheap
Oh,
that it's
that's
impossible.
why.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he did the Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, a made-for-TV Christmas comedy
Yep.
written by himself and Jeff Morris.
He did Muppets from Space.
Never heard of it. Okay, I will say I do love that Grumpy Cat is credited as an editor for the movie. That is very nice.
Good. So this
Reception.
is wow, Tim Hill.
27%. That's not great. A hashtag on Twitter representing the film Worst of Christmas Ever trended during the first half of the movie, which was watched by 1.7 million viewers.
That's 1.6 million viewers I thought I would not get.
Mm-hmm.
Grumpy
The
Cat was still
Christmas
popular back then.
Yes,
so-
Grumpy Cat was still popular. The Christmas miracle of this movie is that Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever isn't the worst Christmas movie ever. It was apparently praised for its writing and one of the people's voice acting. So it apparently wasn't terrible. Wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
I feel like the whole purpose of the movie was just to get these nice still shots of Grumpy Cat just being Grumpy Cat.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, isn't it animated?
No, it's live action
Oh, what the hell?
with the actual Grumpy Cat.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Well, I guess that does give it some very slightly greater credit.
Yeah. I miss Grumpy Cat.
Mm-hmm.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace. Rest in peace, tartar sauce.
Yes, that was
Had
her
a hell of
name.
a life.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I love this image, this particular image right here. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
This is the only justification for this movie I can find.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Like,
Yeah,
that's an objectively good picture.
it's just Grumpy Cat behind the wheel of a car.
I need, like, I want to filter this through, like, a meme generator and just have it be, like, me when I'm in traffic. Maybe that big black outlined white impact font.
Go back to like 2013 memes. I don't know. When was the first time you ever discovered memes?
Oh man, so would have been when I first got an iPod Touch.
Damn,
It
that's
was
old.
like a what version was that? It was an old
Yeah.
iPod Touch. It was like second or third generation. And I remember I looked up like literally like funny pictures or something like that in the App Store, and I downloaded an app that was literally called Funny Pics, and that was where I got my memes from.
You're lucky you didn't get dick pics.
Right? But it actually, I don't know, the whole thing ended up being a pretty positive experience because the app is still running to this day, even though it doesn't really get support anymore from the original developers. And people actually upload relevant memes to it.
That's funny.
So it's a small community that uses it, but it's a decent community at this point, just due to its obscurity now.
You know, it's one meme community that still is alive from the old days.
Uh, yes. Wait, which one do you have in mind?
A particular one that we all cringe at.
Is it iFunny?
9gag.
Gag. Is it really?
9gag still around.
Yeah, I guess they probably are because they had the meme. Oh my god! If you Google 9gag, let me try that again. There's no way that must be based on like my disgusting search history. When I went to Google 9gag, I was just about to say it. The first one that came up was 9gag meme rock.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't have the meme rock coming up in my search engine.
Okay, I've probably just watched that video from Internet Historian a few times too many.
Find the stone.
Smash the stone.
Oh shit.
Follow in the footsteps of Don Quixote. Remember when he carried these big jugs of vinegar?
So I found like the Google search thing for it, like the knowledge panel. And they're like founders, and I don't know how they fucking did this, but Chris Chan is among the founders.
I don't doubt that. So is 9gag basically just turned into like Instagram at this point?
I think it's a wannabe, like it's a meme Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, because if I just go to their homepage, the first thing is just travel and photography.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just a picture of in Bucharest.
I'm just seeing some badly made memes.
I think it's probably random, but oh, they have a new trailer for the Borat sequel. Nice. Oh my god. So you know the one piece bathing suit that he wears in that?
Yes.
They've recreated that with a surgical mask.
Oh god. Oh god.
So,
oh god.
Do you see it?
Oh god. Ooh, there's an 9gag store now. And none of the merchandise looks that good. Wow. Lack of anything going on there. It's literally just a cap that says cap? Question mark? For $30.
There's a weirdly large number of categories.
What, in 9gag?
On 9gag, yeah. I don't think I've ever actually spent any serious time here.
Yeah, I know. This is like just a weird little safari for me as well.
Yeah, it's like it feels like I'm both looking through like a time machine back to like pre-2015 memes and websites.
Yeah.
But it's also trying really hard to look like Reddit.
You're right. It is like this weird pseudo Reddit.
It's like Reddit, but they haven't updated anything in the last 5 years.
Yeah, this is very archaic web design. Huh. An adventure in 4chan, 9gag. God, some of this stuff is really fucking weird.
Yeah. I'm gonna like go away from this webpage now because I don't want this in my search history anymore.
That's why I delete my search history after every show.
On to other news, though.
Okay.
Have you heard the latest 2K sports controversy?
2K. What is it?
So, sports games now cost you $70.
Fuck that.
Because, of course they do, even though they're literally exactly the fucking same as they were last year.
Wasn't that literally a controversy recently that someone did, like, one of them did a copy paste?
Oh yeah, no, it's 100% that. It was in Madden 20, where if you looked up in the stands, they still had the Madden 2019 logos plastered all over them because they couldn't even be fucked to change that much.
You think they just have like a room of starved developers that they just say make the new Madden, and they're not allowed to come out until it's done?
Oh no, they have a room of starved economists because it gets even better.
Hit me.
NBA 2K21, a full priced $70 game that not only has microtransactions, loot boxes, and actual gambling in it, also now has unskippable in game ads.
What the fuck is going on?
Yes.
What the hell are they doing? Did the I'm broken.
Yep. It's terrible. I don't get why people keep buying these games. I don't get why. If you're a sports fan, why are you buying a sports game that has a number on it past like 16 or 17? Graphically, nothing has changed. Mechanically, nothing has changed. Why are you putting your money into this kind of stuff? I don't get it.
I think it's wish fulfillment.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I hope that the people who play these games start to really take notice of this kind of stuff, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Whenever I think of these games, I always think about OC when we lived in Shipperd, and we would like pass by guys with their doors open, and they'd be playing these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't strike me as the most critical thinking of their gaming decisions.
Yep.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that's a thing.
It's a bad thing,
It's a terrible thing.
and I'm scared about the precedent that's going to sell. I can start.
I don't know. I feel like that they're probably going to backtrack on this because how can you not?
Yeah,
It's just so in your face, egregiously just anti-consumer. But who knows?
that's the kind of economy we live in, though.
Oh, it was deleted.
What?
Okay, no, here we go. There's a new post on it. 2K under fire for this is on our NBA 2K. 2K under fire for adding unskippable in-game ads to the full price NBA 2K21 a month after release. I'm curious. Like, let's see. How far do you think I'm gonna have to go down this Reddit thread before I find someone who defends 2K doing this?
I give you 10 posts.
10 posts. One, two. That's like a half one. I'm not gonna count it.
Okay.
Three,
I'm scared.
4, 5. Um. So we're past 10 now.
Okay.
Oh no, here we go. Doesn't bother me. They pop up during loading streams. Once the game hits 100%, I press A. I'm on my phone during loading streams anyway. Doesn't matter if it's an ad or 2K TV. I'm not paying attention.
Bah.
So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 posts down.
Damn, I was close. Huh.
There's a
What-
lot of people though that are like taking this of the opinion of like this isn't something new. They've already been doing this for 2 years. If you're still playing this game anyways, you're just stupid.
Bah.
Which is a bit overly dismissive, but I kind of get it.
Oh yeah, no. I just keep thinking about like sheep.
Pretty
That-
much. Okay, let me see, because I do have a couple of pieces of serious news for this week.
Oh god, no.
Um, I really just have one piece. So
Okay.
it's just we'll do it. We'll get it out of the way. We'll be done with it. So earlier this week, there was a beheading in France.
Oh God, no.
Not like French Revolution kind of beheading. This one was Islamic terroristy.
Okay.
Apparently, a French school teacher had uh, given instructions to his students to it was some sort of an art project. Like where I can't find. I want I want the article from the day of the attack.
I've heard
But
about this
the short
story.
of it is that this teacher had depictions of Muhammad,
Yes.
and one of the parents of the students attacked the teacher, stabbed him, killed him, beheaded him while shouting, you know, God is greatest and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Officers apparently approached him. He fired at them with an air gun, and they, of course, killed the shit out of him.
The shit, you say?
Mm-hmm. Shot him 9 times and found a 12-inch blade on his person. That's lovely.
Oh, nice.
They
Damn.
only had minor misdemeanor charges prior to this, and since then, they've arrested almost a dozen other people that were found to be in connection.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean by connection? Like,
As in suspected, they have executed like some 50 warrants at this point, and arrested 11 other people on suspicion of radical Islamic behavior.
okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it does not. So,
Oh no, sorry, I apparently got this wrong. The suspect is an 18-year-old born in Moscow of Chechen origin, has no known connection to the teacher or the school. But it's suspected that because of the images of Muhammad that he had shown to his pupils, that is what brought the radical behavior to him.
okay.
Which I believe is probably also why there's been so much additional investigations and arrests after the fact. Try and figure out how this connection actually happened. How did this guy actually learn about it?
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Oh, it's very fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Oh, God, there's. So, in case you didn't know, the election's coming up here soon.
Holy shit, I forgot. Honestly, I
So,
think. What?
do we want to talk about Trump bombing his own campaign, or do we want to talk about like the other election stuff first?
Um, let's just get the humor out of the way. Let's bomb the let's talk about him bombing the
Okay.
campaign.
So I forgot. I gotta pull another one up here.
Oh shit.
There's just so much stupidity. Trump and his campaign have been on a major offensive this last week, trying to, by all accounts, paint Biden as in a worse light than they have been. Which, you gotta give them credit. At least, they're ambitious, thinking that they could do worse than they already have.
Yes.
And it so far looks like they can't, because there's been a number of things that have come up this past week. The first one was Mercedes Schlapp, which is such a dumb name. What is her official role? She is senior advisor for the Trump-Pence campaign. Tweeted out that Joe Biden, ABC Town Hall, feels like I'm watching an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yes.
And like they didn't realize how people would think of that. Like who thinks of Mr. Roger as like a negative thing? It's so absurd. But apparently Republicans do. So
Are they saying they don't appreciate Marine? Wait, what was Mr. Rogers? He was something like, wasn't he in the Marines?
No, he wasn't. That was
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross was a former Marine
Yes.
who did painting as like a you know self therapy kind of a thing at first, as I understand it.
Yes.
Mr. Rogers was just like through and through an entertainer and an advocate for children's education.
Yes.
Have you seen his? I don't even want to call it a speech. His address to Congress when he was looking to get additional funding for children's education on TV.
I've not seen it. I know about it. I just never seen it with my own eyes.
I'll try and find a link for it here because it is very worth a watch and a listen. Um, and it just goes to show how good he was at what he did.
Oh yeah, no, the man was fucking prolific.
He was an amazing individual, incredibly successful. Mr. Rogers, that should probably get it. PBS. That's that's like their actual website. Does this have ads? Oh no, that's like a program for it. I don't want that. Give me YouTube. Here we go. This is the one that I've seen. But one of the best parts of this is that towards the end of it, where he is reading a piece from his program to the senators, and just an amazing man. It's like one of those things. You just gotta watch it. Words don't do it justice. So that was how we started the week. In the middle of the week, Eric Trump, who is impossibly, the dumbest of the Trumps, tweeted out a photo of a large house with some sort of caption that was like, "This is Biden's house. Does this look like the kind of house someone who makes $164,000 a year should buy?" Only there's like so much wrong with it because Biden bought the house in I think the 80s for 185 grand, and he flipped it for millions after he fixed it up. But he sold it in the 90s. He hasn't lived there in over 20 years.
Oh God.
And everybody in the comments was just of the Twitter post for it was just like, no, that's in fact not where he lives. And it's one of those things that it's just so easy to check that. Like, these facts are so readily available, but they can't even be bothered to do good propaganda.
For all you sitting at home, I just want to point out this is how misinformation spreads, and the fact that a presidential campaign is actually doing this is kind of a scary thing.
Oh, it's so stupid. Then we had, at one of Trump's rallies, Trump said if Biden's elected, he'll listen to the scientists.
Ooh.
Like, he actually said that.
Ooh.
His full statement was something like, if I listened to the scientists, we'd have a country in a massive depression. And Biden's going to listen to the scientists. And it's just like, the fuck is wrong with you? There's so many good examples of why that's not true.
Aren't economists technically scientists?
Yes, they are.
So he admits that listening to an economist about the economy is a bad idea as well.
Yes, he does. Also, just looking at literally anywhere else, you can look at Canada, you can look at New Zealand, Australia, literally pretty much anywhere that's had a COVID case, other than maybe the UK. They've done a pretty terrible job handling it.
UK's on a losing streak.
Not nearly as bad as we have.
Yes.
But like pretty much literally anywhere has done a better job than us.
Yeah.
Because those dumbasses listen to their scientists. What fools.
Fuck. Coming from the scientist himself, you're biased.
True. Okay. And then we had one more. So this is part of, I don't even think we've even touched on this. The whole, it's so dumb. It's so dumb I don't even want to talk about it.
What is it?
Okay. So earlier this month, Rudy Giuliani gave to the New York Post I don't even know what exactly it is, documents, digital documents that were allegedly from a laptop that Hunter Biden had dropped off at a laptop repair store and then never came back to pick up.
Okay.
So, a few things off the bat. One, the owner of this laptop repair store can't confirm that it was actually Hunter Biden or any member. He can't confirm at all who dropped the laptops off. The only connection between these laptops and Biden at all is a sticker on one of them that links to a charity that Beau Biden, Joe Biden's deceased son, who's in the military, a charity that Beau Biden was involved in or headed up or something like that. That's it. That is the only official connection between them. But this guy is certain that Hunter Biden dropped these 3 laptops off at a laptop shop in New York, like literally all the way across the U.S. from where Hunter Biden actually is. But he dropped them off, and he didn't come and pick them back up. And because he didn't come and pick them back up, he started poking around in them, and he found these documents. And he tried to give these documents to someone who to disperse them around, but no one would. So he gave them to the most credible mayor, former ex-mayor in the U.S., Rudy Giuliani, who is definitely not a Russian plant at this point. He's totally acting under his own recognizance, and he's not drunk 24/7. That's the other thing. He's definitely not drunk all the time. Even if certain people are saying otherwise. Don't listen to them. They're wrong.
They're scientists.
They're scientists. They're only people who directly work with the guy on a daily basis. What do they know?
They don't know Jack.
So that all led to this whole bullshit. And another good one I had is that apparently the New York Post was the only place that would take this shit from Giuliani, these documents from Giuliani, because nowhere else, like literally nowhere, said that they had the journalistic integrity to even look at this trash.
But what were the
it's
documents?
Like such garbage. I don't even care. It does not matter. Point is, a part of them are text messages from Joe Biden to his son Hunter Biden while his son Hunter Biden was apparently in rehab. It's not like a secret. Hunter Biden had, or potentially has, had an addiction to cocaine, and he's gone to rehab on multiple occasions for treatment for it.
Yes.
But in these tweets, in these texts, this backfired again because all it's done is portrayed Joe Biden as like a genuinely loving and caring father towards his son. And one of the most notable ones is one that Joe sent to his son. Sorry, was reading something there. He sent to his son 6:57 in the morning, said, "Good morning, my beautiful son. I miss you and I love you, Dad."
They're just sex.
And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, no, that really
Oh my God.
gets at your heart.
It does. Like, how can you not?
Yeah.
Unless you're a Trump Republican.
It's a sign of weakness, and we can't have a sign of weakness in the office.
Who loves their family?
Fuck that.
So yeah, it's like everything they've tried to do this week has backfired completely.
Yeah.
One of the other really good ones I saw was apparently at a Trump rally in Iowa, I want to say. He said some bullshit like Biden wants to cancel Christmas. If Biden gets elected, he's going to cancel Christmas. Even though Biden doesn't get inaugurated until January 20th if he wins. He's going to cancel Christmas.
So we literally have to vote Trump to save Christmas.
Yes, apparently.
We got to vote.
Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention to the fact that Melania in the past said something about, like basically said fuck Christmas.
Yes.
Don't pay attention to that.
Or
the guy who's not going to be inaugurated until a month after, he's the one that's going to cancel it.
Don't forget that, he's a Catholic too.
Yes, of course.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah, what a beautiful statement by our president.
It's amazing.
Do you think that means Melania is
Um,
going to vote for Biden now?
God, I hope so. That would be hilarious.
You say he wants to ruin Christmas.
I did hear a really good sort of zinger at Melania's expense. They're calling her the third lady
Ouch.
because it's Trump's third wife.
Yeah.
Then someone came back with, or the first escort, which someone else responded to with, no, she's still the third there too.
Oh.
Which was
Ow.
like, oh.
Oh. Ah. That hurt. I'm not even Melania, and
Mm-hmm.
that hurt.
Yep. So in more things that are going to hurt, especially for Trump, a federal judge has struck down Trump's plan to slash food stamps for 700,000 unemployed Americans. So, this past Sunday, a federal judge formally struck down a Trump administration attempt to end food stamp benefits for nearly 700,000 employed people, blocking as arbitrary and capricious the first of three such planned measures to restrict the federal food safety net. This was part of a 67-page opinion, which is really not that long. I mean, that's one of those things that it sounds long, but these justices go on and on and on, and they have to cite everything in very painful detail. So that sounds like a lot. It's not that much. That's typical. Chief U.S. District. Oh my goodness. Why are words so hard? Chief U.S. District Judge Burl A. Howell of the District of Columbia condemned the Agriculture Department for failing to justify or even address the impact of the sweeping change on states, saying its shortcomings had been placed in stark relief amid the coronavirus pandemic, during which unemployment has quadrupled and rosters of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, have grown by more than 17%, with more than 6 million new enrollees.
I
Ugh.
like how we have people that actually care.
Right? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Um, Howell wrote, adding that the Agriculture Department, quote, has been icily silent about how many adults would have been denied SNAP benefits had the changes sought been in effect while the pandemic rapidly spread across the country. The judge concluded that the department's utter failure to address the issue renders the agency action arbitrary and capricious and, in turn, illegitimate.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. All right, what else we got? Oh, milkshakes or Diet Coke?
Uh, well, I know what Diet
I mean,
Coke's all about.
they're kind of the same.
Yeah. Okay.
They're one. Okay,
Yeah.
so in case you didn't weren't aware, Trump is not exactly the most intellectual of individuals. Uh, Apparently, this was reported a while ago, 2017, early on in his administration. Trump had installed in the Oval Office a button that he can press that at any moment will bring him a butler to give him a Diet Coke. And admittedly, when this was first talked about, it was kind of funny because it was 2017 and things were very different then. And like, I don't want to give the guy credit, but it, it's objectively funny seeing this talked about. So this was as part of an interaction between Time magazine, the Financial Times, Dmitry Sevastopoulos, and Trump in the Oval Office. Sevastopoulos writes, sitting across from Donald Trump in the Oval Office, my eyes are drawn to a little red button on a box that sits on his desk. Jokingly asked Trump whether or not this was the nuclear button. Trump responds, no, everyone thinks it is. Then he uses the button to order a Diet Coke. Trump continued, everyone does get a little nervous when I press that button.
Oh my
Which is
god.
like it's objectively stupid and funny. But it gets less funny over time. So the most recent thing that we have here is kind of in the same vein. But apparently, during a code word level secret meeting between Trump and a number of senior CIA officials, this happened in 2017 also. Trump reportedly uh, brought the meeting that the group was having to a halt and asked, "Does anyone want a malt?" Urging, "We have the best malts. You have to try them," before inviting a waiter into the code word secure briefing room to order a malt. This episode, according to three former CIA officials, has apparently become legendary within the CIA and was seen as an early harbinger of Trump's disinterest in intelligence, which has become kind of a joke in and of itself. About the same time, it was revealed that apparently Trump wasn't reading his daily security briefings all the way through. So, in order to make sure that he would, the Secret Service and the CIA and people who were giving these to him made a couple of changes. First one is that they started to include his own name more inside these daily briefings to keep his attention, in check, keep him interested. That wasn't enough though, so they also started to add vibrant, colorful pictures to keep his attention, and that seemed to do the job.
I'm very curious what the pictures are.
I'd imagine it's probably like cartoony versions of foreign countries, like
Ooh, yeah.
ISIS is in Syria. Here's like, a cutout version of Syria, but it's got a funny face and arms and legs.
Could you
I could
imagine
see that.
being the guy who has to do those briefings and you have to find those cartoons?
Would be so soul crushing.
Oh my god. He's he's like, "Hey, this is a pretty good newspaper. Where's Garfield?" God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I
Oh,
have
so
yes.
yes, go ahead, please go ahead.
I have noticed that reading essentially is a skill and you do need to practice it often.
Yeah, but I would hope that the bar was a little higher for elected officials.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right. You're right. My bad. I'm not saying
But
like
apparently not, though.
yeah. Ugh. I'm also not one to talk because I read comic books a lot, and those are the funny picture books. So, do you have anything else?
I do.
Oh
So
God.
this was actually a pretty cool one. This is actually a good thing. This is good news.
Okay.
And it's not in the U.S. It's even better. In Bolivia, socialist Louis Arc has declared victory in Bolivian election. So this is really good. Although we're really gonna have to wait and see how this turns out. Bolivia was run by their president Evo Morales, who last year, I believe it was last year, maybe it was the year before. How long ago was this? 2019. So this was last year. A military coup happened, and he was forced out of power.
Okay.
They had elections again, and his former finance minister came first in the polls with 52.4% of the vote, which is excellent. The next closest person, the former president Carlos Mesa, had 31.5%. So if these election results are actually honored, and hopefully they will be, this is huge. It's not the first time that Bolivia has elected a socialist leader. They did it before, and Evo Morales, then there was a military coup, and that all kind of came tumbling down. So we'll have to see how this goes. Hopefully, the election results are respected, and they're able to get their country back on the right track.
Hopefully.
But yeah, very positive to see. Um, in other foreign election news, oh my god, I have to remember how to say her name. I don't know. New Zealand's, I believe she's prime minister. Prime minister, yes. Jacinda Ardern won re-election in a landslide in New Zealand, so she'll be staying on as PM for the country. Due in large part to her fairly excellent COVID-19 response.
Okay.
It wasn't even close. It was literally 2-1 votes. So that was good. And not a what is this? They say weeks after, but this was not weeks ago. Gretchen Whitmer, our governor, has been hitting the pavement, going door to door, campaigning for Biden in Michigan.
Really?
Just after there was an attempted kidnapping against her. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
I
interesting.
I respect the hell out of it. I want her to do so much more than she has been so far.
Yeah. Well, it's not easy in Michigan.
Oh no, not no. I mean, like, I want her to continue on to like a
A higher office.
yes,
What would
hopefully
your
federal.
dream office for her be?
I don't know enough about her to say president, but
Okay.
easily Senate.
I
For
can see
sure
her as a
Senate.
senator.
Like immediately right now, Senate. 5-10 years, easily president if she keeps up with her current record.
Hmm. Okay. So,
One thing that I did hear thrown around though for a potential 2024 ticket that I thought sounded pretty cool would be Kamala Harris running for president,
okay.
which unfortunately probably would never happen solely because she's black and America is depressingly violently racist.
At the moment, yes.
And that's realistically not going to change in 4 years.
No, no. I think we got lucky with
But
Obama.
absolutely. But it was the idea was Kamala Harris and Gretchen Whitmer. Whitmer is VP. I think that'd be a pretty great ticket.
Michigan would blow up in anger.
I don't think it would.
Like,
I mean, people talk shit about Whitmer on like the federal level a lot, but her approval ratings have stayed pretty high.
well, yeah. Well, you gotta admit, it's like a vocal minority that are pretty crazy to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Personally, I have a couple problems with her, but I don't see them as big problems. It's like the same kind of problems I have with any politician, where, you know,
Right. Yeah.
I as a citizen obviously have my own beliefs, and I don't expect anybody in office to hold the same beliefs as me because, frankly, I'm on the ground level and they've got other things to worry about.
Yep. The big thing for me though is that when I see the way that she acts in office, I genuinely think that I get the genuine feeling that she actually cares about the people she serves.
Oh yeah, I think
And there's a lot of people, even on the Democratic side, where you don't get that.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I can name a couple people on the Democrats definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um like for example, a lot of the problems I have with Whitmer is that she does stuff I like, but she's dragged her feet on it. Like the Flint shit. Like
While true, that was a carryover from Rick Schneider's legacy.
oh, I know. And I'm not going to
So yeah,
yeah, no, I'm still upset with Schneider by the
there's
way. I think he should go to jail.
he should.
Yes.
All of the officials who were involved in that absolutely should. That was
Gross negligence.
catastrophic. Like, yeah, yes, perfectly said. That's absolutely what it was.
Yes. Um Also, the Clean Slate Act that just came out, by the way, I approve of.
I have not heard this.
It's basically if you were charged with marijuana possession, now that it's legal, you're allowed to go out of jail. You're free, and the charges are taken off your
Hell
record.
yes, that is amazing.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I am 100% for that. I just feel
Recidivist,
bad
like,
for the people who've been rotting in there
yeah.
for about a year now. I,
Yep.
yeah. So, yeah. My criticisms usually are that things don't happen fast enough, but it's politics and I can understand why things don't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are so many like there are problems with the U.S. justice system in general, but the high recidivism rate that we have is one of the things that should not even it's such a visible thing. When there are this many people who are going in and out of prison, it's clear that your prison systems aren't working. If your prison systems are working, people don't end up in them again.
Correct.
So I'm all in favor of that. Let people make a mistake, serve their time, and then actually move on with their fucking life.
Yes. I don't think we should have it hanging over their head for their fucking rest of their life.
100%. Same with like people who are trying to vote who have felony convictions. You know, have they served their time or not? Right?
Yeah.
That's the question.
The only area I have a problem with this is sex offenders, where I think that they kind of do deserve to know, like, be on that registry.
Oh, I, I don't really know. It's definitely a problem. And it's
Yes.
one of those things that everyone kind of recognizes as a problem, but we don't have a better solution yet
Yes, I
because
agree.
everyone sort of agrees that when you have someone who has like what appears to be a genuine mental health problem like that, that clearly something is not firing right. That they think that that is okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Agreed.
how do you fix that? You can't.
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave them in jail for the rest of their life. What are you gonna do?
I mean,
It's a problem.
yeah, I'm not saying we should keep them in jail for the rest of their life. I'm saying that the
Oh, I know.
registry is there for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like, what is the ultimate answer, right?
Yeah, I agree. Because what I'm worried about more is just keeping children safe. And,
Of course.
yes. And the only way to really make them safe is to alert people that these people are there. But I also think that is kind of a slap in the
But that's
face.
also
Yeah.
right, and it's backwards.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have these people in communities in the first place. You should be able. That's fundamental. It's paramount to prison systems. It should be, at least. It's not in the U.S., but it should be. Is to get these people the help that they need, so that they can so that they don't commit these crimes again.
Yes.
And that doesn't happen.
I think it's really fucking hypocritical that the U.S. claims to be such a Christian nation, like a majority of us Christian and whatnot, but our prison system doesn't reflect redemption.
Yep.
That is a huge problem I have with like a lot of like U.S. thought mentality, is that redemption is always seems to be missing from all of it.
Mm-hmm. It's because the U.S. prison system is set up exclusively to punish,
Oh,
not
of course.
rehabilitate. It
Yeah.
doesn't do anything else, so it's not going to do anything else.
And it's so fucked up because you know how much money goes into just laboring these people in a fucking cell for years?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge amount.
It's like if you think fucking college is expensive, imagine that for just like extended. Because like a lot of college is fucking not just past tuition and whatnot, is room and board.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're
not cheap to house a person for decades.
yeah. And you don't even get a good citizen out of it at the end. It's like
No.
50-50. Like people who go to college at least get something for it. But like the prison system, it's just throwing this money into an incinerator.
Yep.
And that's also why I have problems with fucking private prisons as well.
Oh yeah.
You should not be able to profit off that shit.
Nope.
Nope. We should run. Schmoes.
We would never get elected.
Why?
I would love to, but wouldn't work.
Why would you say
Too
that?
controversial.
Too controversial?
Yep.
What's our most controversial opinions?
The prisoners are people.
Oh shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I did see, what one was it? Apparently, it's one of Biden's economic plans. I think it's for college tuition.
Yeah.
College. Let's see if I can find this. Closed. Biden plan for education beyond high school. Biden is running for president to rebuild the backbone. Blah blah blah. Invest in community colleges and training to improve student success and grow a stronger, more prosperous, and more inclusive middle class. Strengthen college as the reliable pathway to the middle class, not an investment that provides limited returns and leaves graduates with mountains of debt they can't afford. And support colleges and universities that play unique and vital roles in their communities, including historically black colleges and universities and minority serving institutions. And so basically, the whole idea of this is to put funding into higher education in order to reduce the debt that people have when they're leaving, and then to promote uh, colleges that are, as they say, working to serve underserved areas.
Okay.
And there is a report on an analysis of it that was basically this plan will pay for itself in 10 years. Because, of course, it will, but the majority of the American people can't look past the next 10 months, let alone the next 10 years to see benefits like that.
I mean, I kind of agree with that sentiment. I don't think I could look past the, like, seeing the future 10 months, plan that far ahead.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I would hope that people would start to do that as they consider, like putting people into elected office.
Yes.
Like, those are the kinds of impacts that we need. It's one of the reasons that the IRS is consistently one of the best. Like, it's like every dollar that you put into the IRS that you fund it brings back two. It's literally putting free money into the government's pockets.
Did you say free money in the government's pockets? Because I think Mitch McConnell wants to know your location.
You don't even have to. No, I'm not going to say that.
What?
Something, something, expletive, something, something, Putin.
Oh. I get ya. Oh boy. I don't know. I would have fun if we could run for president. I straight up would use our campaign idea, my campaign ideas from our previous one with the strippers and whatnot.
People would show up.
People would show up. Fucking A, man. And the best part is, they're strippers. They're already low budget.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'd be willing to give it a shot, but I know it wouldn't go that far. As long as the Democratic Party is still the way that it is, like, Bernie Sanders probably isn't ever going to get a proper Democratic ticket because he's just too liberal.
Oh yeah. No. People are always like the Democrats are the most liberal people and they're the scariest people. And it's like, no, they're not.
No, they're not. They're basically conservatives in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, that's just how we are, though, in the U.S., though. We're so really fucking conservative.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it's our school of thought. It's where we come from.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I heard a really good piece the other day that was talking about gun control. And one of the good lines in it was, if you go far enough left, you get guns back.
Ha!
Which I thought was great.
That is pretty funny.
You just gotta hit anarchism.
Yeah.
It's all good again. I have one last story here.
Go on.
And I'm going to make a pun with it. So this article is titled Coronavirus, the place in North America with no cases. And that place is in Canada, the region of Nunavut, which is having none of it.
Ugh. That was bad.
I know. I know. It's supposed to be. It's a pun.
It is pretty punny. I will say a pun only works if it inflicts pain upon the listener.
Yes. It's a great line from the movie Master and Commander, where Master Commander's what is it set, like 1600s? And it details a British naval ship going around the Galapagos as they do their thing in the British-Spanish War.
Okay.
And there's a great scene between the captain and the doctor when they're doing something in the captain's quarters, and the captain makes a pun, and the doctor, and it always sticks with me, the doctor responds, "He who would pun would pick a pocket." I just love that. It's just like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, no, that's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. You know who I wouldn't mind seeing run for president again?
Who's that?
I'm a big Yang supporter.
Oh yeah, me too. I was all in favor of him at the start of the election cycle.
Yeah.
I like a lot of his ideas, but I'm not surprised that he never gets any mainstream support.
Oh no, I think it's honestly, I think he puts the wrong emphasis on the universal basic income.
Yep.
I think future proofing the country should be his big ticket because that it's going to win so many more people over.
Hmm. Kind of. I don't know. He's very contradictory to what a typical political candidate looks like because he is really all in on UBI,
Yeah.
but in kind of a good way. It goes both ways because it makes him look like he's oh, I can't remember what the term for it is. It looks like he only cares about one thing. He's
Yes.
a candidate that only is interested in one thing, but his one thing extends into so many different categories that that's really not the case, even though it does give that appearance.
Yes. I agree. I think the great thing about UBI as a concept is it really solves a lot of fucking problems.
Yep, it does.
Yeah. And
Especially when you're in a place like the US where health insurance is socialized healthcare, at this point at least, doesn't really seem like it's going to be a thing in the near future.
no. I think it's a good answer to that. It's pretty much a win-win.
Yeah. When you have as strong of a consumer economy as the US has, and you're starting to see as many jobs shift to lower income areas where they can pay people just straight up, they can pay them less. Having a UBI makes a lot of sense in promoting people to go into like the arts.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about where your next month's rent's going to be coming from. You can do a lot with that time.
Yes. I totally agree. And again, it's not like it's a big problem I see living up here near the city is a lot of jobs are strictly part time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and no one can survive on a part time job alone.
Nope.
Nobody.
That's why, especially if you have a family, that's why there's people who have to work three jobs
Yeah,
because you can barely support yourself with a part-time job. You can't support yourself and a child.
no,
It is not possible.
no. And that's a great answer to like being able to fix that solution
Hmm.
where you don't have to regulate the job market to full part-time jobs, but
Right.
UBI allows it to be, a little more manageable for those
Yep. Plus,
part-timers.
if you have a kid, like say you have a kid newborn, you
Yes.
can just take time off of work
Yeah.
and not have to worry about, where's my next meal going to come from? How am I going to pay for, it takes care of so many problems even on the Republican side.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get an abortion when you can actually just take care of your child.
Holy shit.
Like, what a fucking idea that is.
Yeah.
I can afford to take care of a kid now. God damn.
Let's pop out babies.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things that is just so easy to get just propagandized into the dirt,
Oh yeah.
and
Well,
communism, whatever bullshit they want to try and slander it as. But if you can get someone who would like not even mention it, don't even mention it on the campaign trail. That's what I would do.
yeah.
Don't say it. Don't even address it.
Well, wasn't
And
he
then
like
day one,
disguising it as the
bam.
freedom dividend for a while?
That's what he called it, the
Yeah.
freedom dividend,
Yeah.
because frankly, it doesn't sound like socialism or communism when you
No.
call it the freedom dividend, which it's damn good marketing. Whoever came up with that,
Oh hell yeah.
who
Uh,
doesn't want a freedom dividend?
yeah. You mean I get treated like a stockholder of my country?
Right.
Hell yeah. And like the biggest problem I've always had with people whenever I talk about it is they're like, "Well, that's inflation." I'm like, "How? If we're just cycling money from one
Hmm.
area to people.
Yep.
It's just rebudgeting."
It's not. It's not like inflation doesn't already happen.
Yeah.
People try to like even in the last 20 years, inflation's happened. It's gone like 300%.
Are you serious?
It's at least in most places it's been at least double. Things cost at least double what they did. But because the most common metrics like houses, look at how much houses have gone up in the last 20 years.
Oh, I
You
got a
can
story
barely
about houses.
find a house for under $200,000 now. It's fucking absurd.
My mother listens to a lot of true crime podcasts, right?
Mhm.
And she was listening to one that happened to live on the same street as we do. So she
Okay.
wanted me to find that house, and I found it, and I found the Zillow location for it. This house where a murder happened, where the person was literally buried in the concrete of their basement. $150,000 for a murder house.
It's a bargain.
It's a
Like
bargain.
how many beds and baths?
Two beds, one bath.
In what neighborhood? This
Uh,
is like in Middle Michigan, kind of.
this is like the Wyoming into Grand Rapids area, like 36th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like right by 28th, the big commerce district of the area.
Yeah, that's like not even like a particularly good deal.
No,
That's just like, yeah, that's a house.
it's a
It
house.
probably sold in like 2 days.
Yeah. uh yeah. But back to it. It's also I like how it's a flat rate with UBI. Like it's 1,000
Yeah.
for
Yep.
everybody.
Yep. Everyone gets the same.
So for some
And if you're a
people,
rich person, you can say you don't want it, and you
yeah,
don't have to take it.
yeah, good on you. My only hesitation is it will probably increase the population a bit because of people being able to afford to have kids. So that means more UBI in the future, but that's beside the fact. You can still cycle it.
While possibly true, the people who are going to be brought up under that are going to be better people.
Yes. Oh no, that's basic economics at this point. People who live in more like financially strong areas, in more financially strong backgrounds, don't end up in fucking prison.
Yeah. If you're not worrying about where your next meal is going to come from, you're not going to rob people.
Yeah.
I feel like people really need to. There's definitely, at least there was sort of cultures built around that, but there's never really going to be outside of, like, there's always going to be gangs and there's always going to be gang like activity and people who try to capitalize on illegal markets, particularly drugs, of course. So the answer is, of course, to just make all drugs legal.
Yeah. What are they going to
You
do?
give it's a two-step plan. You give everyone UBI, you make all drugs legal, and then you tax and sell those drugs yourself.
The drugs pay for the UBI.
Yeah. Then you price the gangs out of business, so they're not making money, so they have to dissolve because the people have to get real jobs in order to, feed themselves and their families. Except they don't at that point because they're getting a UBI so that they can, do better with their own lives. And then people who are addicted can go ahead and go to rehabilitation centers
Because they have the money.
because, well, not even that they have the money, it's that they have the access to them now. You don't have to admit that you have a drug problem. You can be an active user and have people know you're an active user and not get arrested for it. You don't have to try to hide it anymore. It removes the stigma associated.
Yeah.
And that would be my vision for a better America.
I mean, when you were saying Kamala running 2024 as president, I wouldn't mind if she had a gang as a VP or even vice versa.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Kamala Harris has a lot of her own problems.
Like what?
So particularly when she was, I don't remember what exactly her role was. She was serving at a state level, I believe. No, that's not right. In California, and there was a very specific case that came up with regard to transgender inmates in prison.
Okay.
That her decision was very not transgendered friendly.
Oh.
It was a bit of a cold decision that was made, but since then she's sort of come around on it and ultimately a good decision was reached in it. It's just kind of leaves the question open of what her personal politics would be.
Yeah. Good point.
And I really doubt there would be anything that at least what the GOP currently looks like, I doubt there's anything that they could put forward that would make me sway over to their side at this point. But
I can think of one thing.
if they reanimated John McCain and put him up for president again, you're right. It's absolutely it.
Well, I was actually about to say, literally kick everybody out and put out the people who were inspired by John McCain.
No, I do not want people inspired by John McCain. God, no, that would be terrible. The only reason John McCain works as a political figure is because he's an actually decent person. His politics are fucking awful. Okay, let's be real here. If John McCain was president, we'd be simultaneously in at least 5 wars right now.
That's the beautiful part,
Like,
man.
no lies, no questions, no doubts. It would be a shit show.
But that's
But
the
at
thing.
least I would know the person in charge has the best interest of the U.S. when he's putting us in those 5 wars.
When we have all that war going on, the economy flourishes, Kyril.
Oh my god.
You gotta think about the
You're not
economy.
wrong.
We don't need UBI if we just bomb the shit out of people. God. Oh. Who do we attack first? I say we get China. Get the factories.
Yeah. Reminds me of an old Colbert Report segment they used to have. Who's attacking me now?
Oh, God.
Who are we attacking now?
Isn't that like a Michael Moore movie now? Like, who do we invade next?
I don't know. But what isn't, honestly?
Oh, yeah.
Michael Moore war film. Let's see what comes up. Fahrenheit 9/11, Canadian Bacon. I've not heard of that one.
What is Michael Moore doing nowadays, I wonder?
What is he doing nowadays?
I bet he's having a heart attack every time he looks at...
UM Flint. He's from Michigan. I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, one of us.
Huh. Okay, filmography. Planet of the Humans. Oh, he did Fahrenheit 11/9. Yeah, I remember that one. I wanted to see that at the Alamo in Portage in Kalamazoo, and then they closed the Alamo, and I couldn't.
Oh.
It sucked. Fahrenheit 11/9 was 2018 American documentary by Michael Moore about the 2016 U.S. presidential election and the presidency of Trump. Had its premiere September 6th at the Toronto International Film Festival. His next one, he is executive producer of Planet of the Humans. It's a 2019 American environmental documentary written, directed, and produced by Jeff Gibbs, backed and promoted by Michael Moore, who is an executive producer. Moore released it on YouTube for free viewing on April 21st, 2020, on the eve of the 50th anniversary of the First Earth Day. The film examines the decision of mainstream environmental groups and leaders to partner with billionaires, corporations, and wealthy family foundations in the fight to save a planet in crisis. A conclusion of the film is that green energy cannot solve the problem of society's expanding resource depletion without reducing consumption and population growth, as all existing forms of energy generation require consumption of finite resources. The film also questions whether renewable energy sources such as biomass energy, wind power, and solar energy are as renewable as they are portrayed to be. Upon its release, Planet of the Humans generated intense controversy. It was criticized for being outdated and misleading. There were calls to take down the film, including by several beneficiaries of the foundations critiqued in the film. The film was temporarily taken down from YouTube on 25th of May 2020 in response to a claim of copyright infringement, which PEN America condemned as censorship plain and simple. The filmmakers challenged the claim, arguing that the fragment was used under fair use and that free speech was subverted. 12 days later, YouTube removed the restriction, allowing the film to be viewed again.
Okay, there.
I'm glad I did that without stumbling over words too badly.
I'm very impressed. Now, recite Rap God.
Oh god, no. You can actually pull up some lyrics. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that I could do. No way I can do it at the right speed.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
Because when you can like slow yourself down and very intentionally enunciate everything, it's not that bad.
Seems like Michael Moore has a podcast now.
Does he?
That really doesn't surprise me.
As I say, I'm not too surprised by that, but I'm sure it's like I could see it being painfully pretentious.
Oh, hell yeah. I was about to say, it's probably a more pretentious version of the Joe Rogan podcast. Ugh. Did you watch any of those town halls when they were happening?
I watched the first one,
Which one?
and I watched Trump and Biden,
Okay.
like the very first one. I watched about half an hour of the VP town or the VP debate. I didn't catch any of the town halls,
Um, I
but I thought it was
watched.
hilarious that Biden had better viewership than Trump's did.
Oh yeah, I was a little. What's the word I'm looking for? Questioning of why someone would watch like just the town halls of one of the presidential candidates, unless they were questioning whether they should vote for them or not. I feel like those town halls shouldn't have been watched by anybody that's already made their decision.
Yes and no. I think to a point, yes. Even if there are people who have made their decision already, especially with as polarizing an election as this one is,
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a large number of people who are already either going to vote for Trump or who already are going to vote for Biden. Like they were never going to vote for anyone else. Like even back in 2016, their minds were already made up,
Yes.
and there's nothing you're going to be able to do to change them. So having these town halls does give people like that a way of better just understanding the actual policies of the people that they're going to inevitably vote for.
Yes.
So to that point, I think it's good, but I would be very surprised if they actually changed many people's minds.
I agree. Oh, did you hear about our
Although,
boy Ken Bone?
no.
The motherfucker has not decided who he's voting for this late in the election.
Oh my god. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
Sorry, a bit of Rainbow Six esports news that is like kind of crazy. The first place team in in the first half of the season this year, they went first place all the way up to the major. In the second half, they have not won a single game. They went 0-0-9,
Okay.
which is just like statistically kind of insane. It's like when the Detroit Lions had their perfect losing season back in like 2004.
Oh God.
When the hell was that? 2008. So, oh, that's very interesting. Is that right? Cleveland Browns in 2017 tied the Detroit Lions record for the most losses in a season, both going 0-16. Coincidentally, both had perfect 4-win, 0-loss preseason.
Huh.
That's weird.
It is. It's almost like they're scripted. I'm not insinuating they are. I'm just saying that's almost.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
How would you feel if you found out some major sporting association scripted all their matches for a season?
Personally, I wouldn't care. On an ethical standpoint, I would be highly against it.
Yes, I agree.
I find anything that's even close to match fixing, I am against.
Fair
There's
enough.
actually a fairly recent, I don't even know if it was a controversy, a thing that happened in the Magic community where apparently there has been more attention being brought to what they call intentional draws, where the players will agree, basically, they will agree ahead of time to draw a game so that they both end up either, so that like they don't lose positioning, basically.
That's
So if
messed
you have
up.
Yeah, so you have people, say there's two people who are tied for third. So they have second, third place, they're tied for third place. They have to play against each other. Rather than having one get a win and one get a loss, they can apparently, within the rules of the game, agree ahead of time to take an intentional draw. And with the way the math works out, rather than them one staying in second place and the other getting potentially bumped down to, say fifth place and knocked out of the top four, it'll work out so that they neither get kicked out of the top four, and instead of it being like a 2 and 5, they both stay in third, fourth place. I
Huh.
think it's fucked up,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of people who are, to what I feel, are like uncomfortably okay with it. and like, oh, they've always done it, and you can't force people to win a game of Magic. So it's still fucked up to me, though. It's really messed up.
Yeah, no, that's like the exact opposite of what a tournament's for.
Yep.
Hmm. Imagine a whole tournament where they just do draws.
I don't think they would do that. I mean, these guys are still pros. They want to win, and technically, statistically, this is a way for them to do that.
Yeah,
I just think it's kind of a scummy way.
I agree.
And for me, when you have, as much as people don't want there to be, there is always going to be gambling that takes place related to these games.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Magic, people bet. And when you're making these, when you're deciding the outcome of a game before the game has been played, that should not be allowed. I think if both of the players have, you can do a thing without saying you're going to do a thing, even though it's heavily implied, right?
Yes.
That is fine. If both of these players are aware of their position in the standings and they can both sort of understand that they are better off by drawing rather than getting one player to win and one to lose, if that happens to be the outcome, I think that's fine. It's when they agree to it ahead of time that is messed up.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Whew. Do we have anything else we want to talk about today?
I do have one quick thing I wanted to add while we're on the topic of it. I remember back over the summer, there was an issue with one of the Call of Duty professional leagues where, because they were dealing with COVID, they weren't playing in person, they were on a delay.
Yes.
And the results of some of the games were being posted to Twitter an hour before the games actually ended. And it happened with this exact problem where people were betting based on those results because the betting sites were still open until the ends of the games. And people made huge amounts of money.
Yeah, I wish I would have known about that.
Right? And it was a huge controversy. So, it's not like this is some hypothetical thing. These kinds of situations actually happen even in lesser known or less popular esports.
Yes. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what else do we have to say?
I'm having none of it.
You're having none of it?
That was my pun from before.
Oh. Yeah.
None of it, none of it. Yeah. Puns are great.
You know what else is great?
The Two
Fucking.
Schmoes Show.
We are great. Thank you for mentioning that. I was about to say the election day is only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Isn't it? Holy shit, I'm scared. Did you already vote ahead of time?
I have.
I'm tempted to, but I've also thought I don't want to hear any baby. Like, legitimately, it's probably going to be stigmatized in my neighborhood because of how right-leaning everybody is. And I thought I don't want any babies crying about anything, so I'm just going to show up so I can at least say I played on their field.
I think that's fair. And I think especially there's a lot of places, especially in predominantly black neighborhoods, voting in person is a lot safer than voting by mail.
Yes.
If you're in a predominantly, not necessarily black, any minority neighborhoods, voting by mail is going to have inherent risks of them putting higher scrutiny on your ballot and throwing it out for any reason they possibly can.
I agree.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
For me, I live in a very white area, so I'm not concerned about that.
Same. I live in a very white neighborhood, but it's also a very Trump-heavy neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm like
That's fair.
15 feet away from a Trump flag right now. I guarantee it.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. I'm feeling all sorts of patriotic. Did you know Donald Trump's making the wall happen? And did you know that his amazing marketing deals made it super cheap and flimsy and it's already fallen over? God damn, I left my president. I think I broke him.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, no. I've made this very redneck character at work lately that just
It's too
serves
real.
to point out all the flaws in Trump's presidency from a perspective of someone who's really proud of them. So, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, fucking vote.
Just do it.
Please. I don't care who you vote for. Just participate in democracy.
Yep. The only way that your vote doesn't matter is if you don't use it.
Hell yeah. I like that. So, I'm the infamous Orion, and I'm gonna vote.
I'm Chiral, and I already did that.
Hell yeah, my dude. This has been the Two Voters Show. Vote!